All right, so I just want to do a quick tutorial on this product here. This is the Ettore Backflip. So just to give you a little background, when I started back in 2000. I really, I had the local janitorial store. That's all I knew. I didn't really know what was available, and I was having these problems with these windows that were direct sunlight. It was really hard for me to clean, especially if, I'd wet it and then I'd have to bring it down and switch to my squeegee, and by the time I was coming down, it was streaking already. So the person who trained me, he told me about this backflip, and I was like, what's this backflip? So I bought it. It changed my life. Now the benefit to the backflip compared to those other switchable squeegees is that it has an actual full Golden Glove sleeve on it. So this sucker, you can see, how much water it holds. It just holds so much, and that's important when you're dealing with the heat, because that glass, if you've got a little flat scrubber pad, it's not going to hold enough water to last for when you have to go back and squeegee it. So the other thing is that with those other squeegees, you are required to wet almost the whole window, or at least a good half of the window, before you can start squeegeeing. With the backflip, you can do one section, which I'll demonstrate. Do one part, squeegee, do the next part, squeegee. You can do that the whole way down, which when you're in direct sunlight, that's really important to be able to squeegee while the water's wet. Look at how much water this is holding. That's why I love the Golden Glove so much. We're gonna do a little demonstration. So some of the complaints that people have with the Golden Glove, with the backflip, is that it's kind of heavy. And when it has water, absolutely it is. But it's just like when you're doing water fed, the trick is you just let it lean up against the glass. So instead of you doing all the work, most of the work, you're just pushing up against the glass. And so it's taking a lot of the weight off of your shoulders and your arms. When you're doing a couple, it's not a big deal. But when you've got a whole line of windows in a commercial setting, that makes a big difference. So it's like most. So right now we're in the shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it the first time, wetting the entire window. So just like anything, you want to make sure the entire glass is wet. You don't want to leave any dry spots. Any dry spots are going to equal a streak, even if your rest of the window is wet. So you want to make sure you wet everything so that you get all of the dirt off, or especially any buildup that might be on the glass. And so if you notice buildup, you might just do a little extra scrubbing. I even can go on the corner a little bit and just kind of do a little extra like that. Once the entire window's wet, then you're ready to go ahead and work. So with the backflip, it does have the ledge ease angle on it. So what that means is you probably want to be closer to the window than you would with a normal squeegee handle. So I'm usually like about this angle. I'll come across and then come down. So what I just did is what I call sevens. That's what I was trained on. So I'm starting over here, instead of just doing straight pulls where I would come down like this and then start here and then come down like this. You can certainly do that, but I like the sevens because what that does is that just eliminates that need to wipe that top portion, because you're going across like this and then you're coming down. What that also does is it moves the water. You can see, watch this corner of the squeegee when I do it. Let me wet it again here. When you start here, see all the water goes to that end. So then when you're ready to come down, there's no water on that end, and you're not going to leave a line coming down. So that's what I like about the sevens. It moves the water to this side of the squeegee. So when you're coming down, you're not going to leave a line here. And then you're also not going to have anything to wipe up at the top. So that's how you would use it normally. Now, if you're in straight, where the sun is direct, hitting the sun directly, then you have to be a little faster. So the first step, of course, is to always wet it really well. So you just want to make sure it's nice and soaking like this. So the more water you have, the less streaks you're going to leave. So when you're in direct heat, same thing, you want to wet, but I'm not going to wet the entire window, because that window is going to be dry by the time I get over there if I were to squeegee. So I'll wet about this much, but I'm only going to squeegee once. I'm only going to come down once. So I'm coming down here. Now I'm going slow because I just want you to see the action, but normally I go a lot faster than this. So then I'm going to wet this one, squeegee here, wet again. See, and this is why the backflip's so nice. You've got all that water and all you got to do is twist your pole and you've got it. So flip it again, and then when you have a whole bunch in a row, you're going to get a little motion going and you get a little rhythm, and you can just knock out so many commercial windows with it. So the last one, if I didn't have any window over here, that's when I would do the straight pull. So that's when I would just come straight like that. And again, I always kind of go at an angle so that I'm pushing the water that direction when I come down, so I don't have any line. So I'm going to show you how I would normally do it in real life in the heat. Also, when I'm coming down, because there's a little bit of a lip at the bottom, you'll notice I kind of do a little like this, and that just kind of keeps the water from pooling at the bottom. And that's it, and that's how you do it.